Hey there guys, it's Paul Archer from dronesgeek.com, and today I'm going to help you decide between the Rise Tello and the Xiaomi MITU. I have already reviewed both of them. You can check the links down in the description. Also, if you want to check out a more complete article review on the site, click the link at the top or the one in the description. Why would you want to check that out if you already have this review? Because I have worked my ass off to visually detail in easy to read infographics what the main differences between the two drones are. I have also listed the recommended accessories for both, and you can download the original video and photo files from the camera section and more. Now to start the actual comparison. When it comes to size, both these drones are pretty much the exact same. The Tello was released first, so if anything, Xiaomi has copied them in that regard. Even the brushed motors are the same size, and so are the propellers. When it comes to the form factor, the MITU is obviously a little fatter, but it only weighs 7 grams more. I don't think this makes enough difference to matter. Both these drones come with additional prop guards and both charge through USB, but you can also get additional multiple battery chargers for both. Speaking about battery, the Tello has a bigger 1100 mAh capacity compared to the 920 mAh of the MITU. This translates in 13-minute flight time for the Tello versus a maximum of 10 minutes for the Xiaomi. Battery life will always be important, and this is where the Tello shines. But if you have more batteries, this shouldn't be that big of a problem. Let's talk a bit about sensors and flight stability. On the bottom, they both have one small visual positioning camera that constantly takes pictures of the ground and helps keep the drone in place. What's different between them is the fact that the MITU has a sonar sensor underneath, just like the DJI Mavic has, that helps to detect distance from the ground better. However, Tello comes with two infrared sensors that in theory should be the better technology. In real life situations, I didn't notice a colossal difference between the stability of both, but I must say that the Tello is indeed a little bit more stable. In windy conditions or when up above ground, they both suffer a lot when it comes to keeping stable. However, there's something the Xiaomi MITU has that the Tello doesn't, and that's a few more sensors. These aren't helping with stability because they are augmented reality sensors. It is some pretty science fiction technology right here, probably a little bit ahead of its time. It comes with one hole in front and one in the back, just like your ex-girlfriend, and also a sensor above the main camera here. This will allow you to shoot virtual bullets with another friend that also has a MITU directly through the app. This sounds like a lot of fun to have, especially for children, but nobody will judge you as an adult either, I promise. I feel like the main difference is when it comes to the camera and the way they both save files. First of all, they both have 720p cameras, but the Tello has electronic image stabilization included. This makes a very big difference in the final result. I'd say the most important thing in a camera drone is the image stabilization. And because these don't have a gimbal like the bigger drones, Mavic or Phantom, all that you get is an electronic image stabilization. Tello does a spectacular job with this, and it's amazing they had added it in a drone that's $100. Xiaomi MITU on the other hand only has the drone stabilization, so if it moves suddenly, the video also gets shaky. That doesn't mean the stabilization is perfect. There are times when I find they're both just as shaky or stable, but over 90% of the time, Tello wins hands down when it comes to camera stabilization, and that's very important. Here I tested it inside, showing out the window, so there's no wind interference. The Xiaomi MITU is more colorful and has higher contrast, but that can be changed post-processing anytime, just like how I just added it now to the Tello video. What I noticed from comparing these two is that the Tello video in this case looks sharper and the dynamic range is also bigger. You can see that when I zoom in darker areas of the foliage, there's little to no detail in the Xiaomi MITU video, while in the Tello video you can better observe details and everything looks sharper. The footage is also more stable on the Tello. Xiaomi has a pretty good camera that most of the time is on par with Tello, but it's less reliable when it comes to quality. Here I set up an indoors lighted scene first with the drone sitting on a chair. It's a low light situation and these cameras aren't made for it, but as you can see, the Xiaomi MITU has more noise overall, and the Tello has the flatter colors. You be the judge of this. Please tell me down in the comments which one you like best. Now let's combine the same low light setup with flying. As you can see, the Tello is obviously smoother, but it has frame jumps from time to time. And why do you think that is? Well, it's because Tello records everything directly into the app, not in the drone itself. So there will be certain frame drops from time to time because of that. On the other side, Xiaomi MITU has a great advantage as it comes with a 3GB storage space inside of it. So you don't even have to use your own microSD card. Because it records inside of the drone, it won't have any frame drops or skips caused by Wi-Fi interference. This is quite a nice feature to have and I wish Tello had it too. That would have made it the absolute winner in my opinion. Let's also compare how both of these take photos. First of all, let me tell you that if you want to take photos in the maximum resolution possible with the Xiaomi MITU, you'll have to go in the settings to change the aspect ratio to 4:3. And you'll have to do that every time you change between photo and video, which is quite annoying. The size of the Tello photos is almost double, at around 600 kilobytes, and that's because when it comes to photo resolution, the Tello takes 2500 by 1900 photos, while the MITU takes 1600 by 1200 photos, which is greatly in favor of the Tello. You can clearly see the Tello photos are better than the MITU and the low light performance is also better. The app performance for both drones is great. They're both as easy to control with your phone, but the Tello has a pretty nice advantage here as it comes with some additional flight modes, including Circle, which can prove to be quite useful for a smooth cinematic orbit shot. Up and Away, which is again useful for establishing a wider shot, and a few more others like Hand Launch and Bounce Mode. I consider these two drones to be competing for the best cheap selfie drone, and that should mainly focus on camera stability and battery life. In all these departments, Tello has the edge in my opinion. It takes the better photos, it definitely has the more stable videos, and it also does a little bit better in low light situations. The main disadvantage of the Tello compared to the MITU is the fact that sometimes the footage loses frames and skips ahead a little. The advantages of the Xiaomi MITU are mainly that you can use the AR sensors to play with a friend and that it has 3GB of internal storage, and that's very helpful for transferring files and keeping the footage without interruption. In my opinion, the Tello is the clear winner. But keep in mind that the Xiaomi is about $80 while the Tello is a minimum of $100, or even over that depending on where you live. So if you can't afford paying that $30 to $60 extra dollars, go for the Xiaomi MITU. It's definitely worth the price and it's pretty much the best drone under $80 or $70. You can find it that cheap actually. Just check the links down in the description, you'll probably also have some coupons down there, and I'm sure you will enjoy flying both of these just the same. It all depends on what you decide is best for yourself. I just wish Tello had a microSD card slot or internal storage. You'll find links to both in the description, and don't forget to check the article on DronesGator with even more details and useful information. Thanks for watching and don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell notification icon to see future videos from me. And you should do that because soon I'm going to post a footage compilation from the Tello. See ya later, alligator!
See you later, alligator.